This has to be the smoothest gameplay experience I've ever had. This is the BenQ XL2730Z and it's a FreeSync 144Hz 1440p beauty. Stick around for the full review. Check out our website at TechteamGB.co.uk for more info on both this and many other products, and also up-to-date news on all things tech. Stick around for this awesome video. I really like this monitor and I'm going to explain why. It's 1440p, 144Hz, has FreeSync compatibility, as well as the fact that it has two scalers, which allow you to not only use a FreeSync, AMD PC, but also you're able to use other PCs and consoles and stuff like that with HDMI, DVI, and VGA, so that's really awesome. Now, in terms of the monitor itself, it's actually very customized, or maneuverable at least. It's got 140mm of height adjust, 60 degrees either way of swivel to add to 120, you get 25 degrees total tilt, 20 up and 5 down, and you get 90 degrees of rotation to put it in portrait mode, and with a base layout you could easily put 5 of these in a circle and pay far too much money on graphics cards just to be able to power the behemoth that is all of these monitors. Now, this is a very high class monitor as well, with a very, sleek base with a small indentation for the little remote. You also get a very nice sort of red glossy plastic for the sort of cable management hole, and I'm actually a fan of this. It's actually a really nice style addition. Also, you get a sort of rotating ring on the base, which allows you to quickly set the monitor back up to how you want it if you had to move it for any reason, which I guess is quite cool, and you also see that on the other side of the stand. Now, you do get a headphone stand, 2 USB 3 ports, headphone and mic jacks, and just to give you an idea, that mic jack is a direct pass-through, the headphones jack is a pass-through from the HDMI ports. Now, the headphone stand itself is actually, I believe, metal and is a lot better than the RL series monitor we saw fairly recently. It's actually a lot more sturdy and very, built to last as far as I can tell. It's also quite cool and I believe spring-loaded. Now, you get a USB 3 down on the bottom for the ports on the side, a VGA port, display port for FreeSync, HDMI 2.0, standard HDMI, DVI-D, mini USB port for the remote on the bottom, the mic in for the pass-through, and power in form of a kettle lead. That's pretty awesome, and obviously just the standard I/O, but for a FreeSync monitor it's not just that standard. You also get a carrying handle on the back, which is very solid and very easy to actually carry the monitor with, which is cool. And as I said, here's the sort of adjustability selector on the side. The little tab does just live in that little groove, so it's purely just for being able to set the monitor back up if you do need to move it. Other than that, it is still a nice feature and does look quite cool as well, but not something I'm going to use personally. Now, the back of the monitor features sort of a glossy plastic finish, and it's not my favourite, but it does add to the style, so that's kind of cool. And you also get a big BenQ logo on the back as well. The actual footprint of this monitor is incredibly small, which is actually really cool as well. Now, the menu system can be navigated by the hard press buttons on the side or through the remote. And personally, I prefer the remote just because it's easier to get to, but also because you get the auto mode for the auto game mode, as well as the 3 presets which you can either change or just leave. You also get the ability to, as I said, navigate the menu entirely using the center click for the scroll wheel and the back button and sort of scrolling up and down. The menu system is actually really kind of mature, obviously with all this, they're very similar to the other BenQ monitors, but they have all the sort of options you'd expect, like low blue light, and this one actually comes with some cool features, including like reduced blurriness, so if you want to, game a bit better and try and get that competitive advantage, you can add blur reduction and black equalizer and low blue light and auto game mode and all that sort of stuff to get a little bit of a better gaming experience. Now, just because this is a gaming focused monitor doesn't mean it's not great for everything else, including productivity and media consumption. At 1440p, personally I find that that's the perfect resolution for everything right now in terms of graphics horsepower and screen real estate, and obviously because it's 27 inches, that's probably the perfect size for the perfect resolution, at least in my books anyway. Now, in terms of gameplay experience, this was the smoothest gameplay I've had ever. It's honestly the best gameplay experience I've had just in general, especially paired with a Fury X that we're going to do a full review of start of next week. This is just a fantastic monitor. It's a fantastic experience, and the fact that Intel's just about to support FreeSync in their newest, the next lineup of CPUs or GPUs on board is fantastic, and means that you'll be able to use this monitor, in theory at least, with Intel CPUs if you did want to, although bear in mind that this monitor does also have all those additional inputs as well, which means that you can just, connect anything to it. If you did want to connect, your Xbox or PlayStation, as well as your, FreeSync based PC, then that's still possible, and I just can't get past how amazing that is. And also the fact that at the time of filming this is cheaper than an Asus RG Swift with G-Sync, that just makes me laugh too. So I'm going to give a quick on-camera experience bit, and yeah, let me know what you think of the video in the comments down below. So I thought I'd round off the video with a bit of a conclusion. Sorry for being ill, bear with me. Now, the monitor is a very sort of experience-based monitor, and by that I mean that, yeah, you can look at it in a checklist style of, like, it's got 1440p, it's got 144Hz, it's got FreeSync, all that sort of stuff, but it's a very, especially with FreeSync and 144Hz, it's very experience-based, and you can't really see that on video, which is kind of why I'm doing this, as opposed to just trying to show the benefits of FreeSync and stuff like that. Now, just to clear out what FreeSync is, it's an adaptive refresh rate technology, currently powered by AMD, but also apparently Intel is going to be supporting that very soon, which is really awesome, and kind of means G-Sync, is direct competitor from NVIDIA, is kind of verging on the tier of death. But anyway, FreeSync is effectively adaptive refresh rate, so instead of the monitor just constantly refreshing at 144Hz or 60Hz, it will refresh when the graphics card draws a new frame. So that means that you get no tearing, so you don't get two frames like sort of split on the screen at the same time and stuff like that. And it's just a very, very smooth experience. Now on this, with the setup I've got, which is obviously the Fury X and the BenQ XL2730Z, this is the smoothest gameplay experience I've seen in a long time. It's fantastic. It's, like, obviously 1440p makes it fantastic anyway, but with 144Hz and FreeSync, it's just amazing. If you have the money for this, I definitely recommend grabbing one of these, especially because if you compare this one to the Asus RG Swift, which is obviously the G-Sync comparison, the RG Swift only has one DisplayPort input, and that's it. You can only use it for basically NVIDIA graphics cards. I mean, it does technically work, but you won't be able to turn G-Sync on, so kind of pointless if you're using AMD. So with this one, you actually have effectively two scalers, so you have a FreeSync scaler and a standard one, so that at any other input, so DVI, HDMI, VGA, all of those inputs still work and they're there. Well, you can use DisplayPort to run FreeSync, but if you have an Xbox 360 as well that you want to plug in, then you can do that and it will still work, which is really awesome. And at time of filming, this one's actually cheaper than the RG Swift as well, so that's pretty cool. Now, other than that, the monitor is just generally fantastic. It's got a pretty good menu experience, cool little sort of remote thing that sits in a little tray on the stand. The stand looks really cool. I'm not too sure what the sort of sliding features you saw earlier were, but nonetheless, it's actually really nice for adjustability, and just is a fantastic screen. Viewing angles are pretty good. Obviously, it is still TN, but it's pretty good. I mean, the viewing angles aren't as fantastic as IPS, but still, as I said, they're pretty damn good, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, price-wise, it's not too bad. It's probably going to be a 4 for value for money. In terms of functionality, I've got to say it's a 5, because I've not seen any FreeSync or G-Sync monitors with two scalers to be able to run all of the possible inputs. That's fantastic. USB hub on the side, headphone stand at the side, that's pretty awesome. In terms of performance, going to be a 5 because it's fantastic. In terms of style, I'd probably say it's a 5 as well because it looks pretty cool. And TechteamGB score, I'm going to have to give it a 5, and I think I'm going to have to give this a top tier award because I really, really like this. I mean, I know it's not the most value for money products in the world, but to say that this is a high-end gaming monitor, it's meant to be paired with something like a Fury X, and that's kind of the point of it. It's one of the best, if not the best experience I've had gaming in a long time, and that's just really cool, and I think it deserves that award. So if you want to know any more information about the monitor, specs and all that, check out the written review, which hopefully will be on my face or on a card or on the description down below. And yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, but if you didn't, hit the dislike button, but let us know what you did or didn't like in the comments down below. If you want to see more or less of my face, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, don't forget to buy a t-shirt or anything else like that. Help us out on Amazon. description. You know, if you want to buy this or any other tech product, that's really cool. You know, check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe as well. And yeah, check out some of the other videos which are over there, I think. And yeah, we'll see you on the next video.